Welcome to FreemasonPodcast.com. The current series features selected articles from Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. I am your host, Jeff Day, past master of Laurel Lodge No. 13, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons of Oregon, currently a member of McKenzie River Lodge No. 195, located in Eugene, Oregon. Today's subject, Deacon. In every symbolic lodge, there are two officers who are called the senior and junior deacons. In America, the former has been appointed by the master, and the latter by the senior warden. Both have been elected according to the respective codes of the jurisdiction. Pennsylvania, for example, has the deacons appointed. Ohio has them elected. In England, both are appointed by the master. It is to the deacons that the introduction of visitors should be properly entrusted. Their duties comprehend also a general surveillance over the security of the lodge, and they are the proxies of the officers by whom they are appointed. Hence their jewel, in allusion to the necessity of circumspection and justice, is a square and compasses. In the center, the senior deacon wears a sun, and the junior deacon a moon, which serve to distinguish their respective ranks. In the English system, the jewel of the deacons is a dove, in allusion to the dove sent forth by Noah. In the rite of Mitzrayim, the deacons are called acolytes. The office of deacons in Freemasonry appears to have been derived from the usages of the primitive church. In the Greek church, the deacons were always the pylori, or doorkeepers, and in the apostolical constitutions, the deacon was ordered to stand at the men's door, and the subdeacon at the women's, to see that none came in or went out during the oblation. In the earliest rituals of the 18th century, there is no mention of deacons, and the duties of those officers were discharged partly by the junior warden, and partly by the senior and junior entered apprentices, and they were not generally adopted in England until the Union of 1813. Brother W. J. Chetwode Crawley has some comments upon the subject in Sementaria Hibernica, Fasciculus 1, pages 9 through 10. He advises that we must carefully distinguish between the deacon of the early Scottish minute books and the deacon of Irish ritual. The former occupied almost, if not altogether, the highest post among his brethren. And having precedence over the warden, and presiding over the meeting when occasion required. The latter corresponded to the dean, that is, deacon, of faculty. The latter to the lost order of the ministry, the deacon in ecclesiastical parlance. The similarity does not go beyond the name. The appointing of deacons served in latter days as a distinction between Irish and English work, for the lodges under the constitution of the ancients naturally followed the Irish use. It must be observed that the office of deacon was confined to supporting lodges. During the first 120 years of its existence, the Grand Lodge of Ireland never elected grand deacons. When their services were required, they were selected for the occasion from the masters then present. Their first appearance as prominent grand officers is in the edition of the Irish constitutions promulgated in 1850, though 37 years previously the United Grand Lodge of England had adopted the office in deference to the usage of the ancients. See also references under titles. If you wish to support this podcast, please share it with others and subscribe by visiting FreemasonPodcast.com. Follow at Mason Podcast on Twitter or at Freemason Podcast on Facebook. You may also pledge Freemason Podcast on Patreon. Any amount, however small, is appreciated and allows us to continue producing episodes. Until next time, brethren, keep spreading the cement of brotherly love, relief, and truth.